Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the 2019 Mazda 6. So I know what you're all thinking, that they haven't changed anything with the Mazda 6 since 2018, but they actually did change something. You can see we now have power folding mirrors. Pretty cool change, but we'll just get right into the rest of the other stuff with the video. So first and foremost, a shout out and thank you to Mazda of Southtown for providing us with the vehicle to review today. And then as always, we will do a walk around, go over all the key features on the Mazda 6, and then we will take it out to see how it drives. If you are stopping in for the first time, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. So coming under the hood of the 2019 Mazda 6, you actually get two different engine options. They're both routed through a 6-speed automatic transmission. They're actually both 2.5 liter engines. The first one is naturally aspirated. The second one is turbocharged. In terms of fuel economy, you're gonna be good for 26 around town, 35 on the highway. Power outputs are gonna vary between the two motors. So 186 pound-feet of torque with 187 horsepower for the naturally aspirated motor. And then you're gonna get 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque for the turbocharged motor. Now let's kind of wrap things up on the front. So exterior design, they have Mazda's signature headlights. They've got nice LED accents here, so you can kind of see it right there on the top. They are projector LEDs up front. And then this is something that's kind of hidden here, but that's actually the Mazda logo, but it also doubles for the sensor for the adaptive cruise control. You have all of the grille there, which is Mazda's signature design with parking sensors integrated into the front bumper, and they are body painted so that they kind of are hidden. Now the exterior color on this 6 is Snowflake White Pearl, and it has a very nice sparkle in the sunlight. It's definitely a more premium paint, and that's something that I like about Mazda is they definitely use very, very nice colors with the paint that they pick on their cars. Coming around to the side, we can see there's 19-inch alloy wheels in the front and in the rear as well. They have a really nice design with them, and especially with this pearlescent white paint they have on the exterior, the rim design does match. But if you want to go for something that's a little bit more blacked out, you could powder coat the rims or something like that. Coming around to the back, this is the key fob for the Mazda 6. You can see it's Mazda's upgraded key fob, so you've got your lock and unlock, and then you have your trunk release and your panic button. So if you hold down the trunk release button, that'll unlock the trunk. After you've unlocked and opened the trunk, you can pop that right up, and you can see that this is going to be the more spacious option to look for compared to the Mazda 3 in terms of space here in the trunk, and then we'll see that in the rear seats as well. But there is just a ton of space back here, especially for a car, and you can see that they've got all the floor mats here as well. Now Mazda's done very well with the design in the back, and they've done something that I really like is they've integrated the backup camera down here, so it's kind of hidden so it doesn't break up the design of the rear. Parking sensors again are body painted, so they're kind of hidden, and then you do get nice dual exhaust out of the back, and I'll include an exhaust clip with that 2.5 liter turbo. And then lastly, you do get these nice LED tail lamps, so it's full LEDs in the back. They look really good at nighttime, and then turn signals are LEDs as well, so it's good that they did full LED for the whole cluster in the rear. Now coming to the back here, we can see the paneling for the rear, and you can see you've got some nice leather bolsters here with some contrasted stitching, your window controls with some nice black paneling. They have this nice wood trim up here. Everything feels really, really premium in this package, and then this is all soft touch there with some more contrasted stitching. I'll give you a view of the rear seats here. You can see they have this nice premium leather with the contrasted stitching here in the back. They have a really nice look to them. They're very comfortable to sit in. You can see I've got the cup holder thing pulled down, so you get USBs in here, extra storage space, and then you do get your heated seat controls to the rear cup holders, but you can flip that up if you want a third person to sit down here, and then you get your vents to the rear right back there. So if we come around to the front, one touch to lock it and the mirrors will fold right in, and then if you see if we one touch again to unlock it, the mirrors will fold back out. We can open up the door here to see the paneling for the front. Got some nice contrasted stitching with some nice soft touch material here, leather bolsters. All of your window controls are going to be down right there with your mirror controls, and if you do want to fold the mirrors in, you just have to twist this all the way in, and then that will power fold in the mirrors when you have the car on. Now looking at the side controls for the seats, we have all of our power controls for the seats. It does have memory seat as well, and so it's nice that they give you all those controls right there. Over here we can see our controls for the trunk release and the hood release, and then you have your controls for the gas, and then over here you have your parking sensors, lane departure assistance. You can see you've got that view mode as well, and then you have your stability control. And then finishing things up before we pop inside, we do have these nice seats up front. They've got this nice little metal insert there. I think it looks really good, but very comfortable seats. The leather feels very premium, and they look really, really nice, especially in this brown color. Now, if we step in height's actually really easy to get into this car. It's a good height off the ground. To start the Mazda 6, all you have to do is put your foot on the brake and push the push start. The push start's kind of higher up on the dash, which is a little bit different, but it's kind of neat to have that. Looking at the steering wheel here, we have our controls for the adaptive cruise control. And so you can turn that on or off on that side. On the other side, we have all of our controls for the Bluetooth system information here. We'll go over that momentarily, and then your phone controls as well. And I like the steering wheel design on the Mazda 6. It's the perfect size. The leather feels really premium, has a nice grip to it, and they do nice stitching on the center of the steering wheel right there. Now right here, we can look at the gauges. We've got our RPMs on the one side. You've got your speedo front and center, and then you can see you've got your fuel gauge and temperature gauge on the other side. And then you've got that center screen that I was telling you about. You can scroll through different bits of information, basically. So this little screen will give you different bits of info on the car, and you can go through all of that information. Essentially, it's all configurable, which is really nice. I'm trying to get this at an angle where it's not going to glare too bad, but this is the center screen right here. It is a touch screen as well as a screen controlled by these dials. We'll go over those dials momentarily, but this screen is going to give you all the functions on the car. So you can do the texting, calling, Bluetooth, all that kind of stuff on the touch screen right here. It's going to have your radio, all of that, and then your navigation as well. Really responsive touch time, and it's nice that they double up with analog controls as well as touchscreen controls. So we're gonna go over the camera system now. That button that I pressed over there, that'll turn on the camera system, or you go into reverse, it'll also pop up with this. But you see you get a nice bird's eye view here, as well as a regular backup camera. And you can see you've got a bunch of different views. You do have trajectory lines that will turn with the steering wheel, but it's cool that they give you all these different views, show you exactly where you are with the car, so it makes parking this a lot easier. Now coming down below here, we have all of our analog climate controls. It is a dual zone climate. You do get heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel as well, which is really nice. But I'm glad that they kept all the climate controls analog, and it gives the own screen basically for the climate. It's really nice that they do that for you. Now down here is the shifter for that 6-speed automatic transmission. You do have a couple drive modes. So you got your sport normal mode. Those will pop up on this little screen here when you have it in sport or normal mode. It does have a dual shift mode, so you can manually shift the gears, and it does have little paddles on the back of the steering wheel if you do want to shift the gears yourself. Now down here are all of those analog controls I was telling you about. So you have your button for the navigation, home, music, your back button, your favorite button, volume, little parking brake, auto hold, and then this is to kind of scroll between the different screens. So when you have everything, so like I press the home button, it'll pop up on the home screen. You can see that button will let you scroll between everything. So you can either use the touch screen or these controls. Then here we've got the little hidden cup holders with this. It kind of feels really cool just to do the motion that this actually does. And then we've got our armrest, leather with some contrasted stitching. Get extra charging stations in there, and it is lined with felt. Feels really nice, and there is a decent amount of storage space there. You have the glove box over here, and again lined with felt, so it feels really premium, and there is a good amount of storage space in the glove box. Now to wrap things up on the interior, it's definitely a very upscale interior. They've got nice leather and stitching all throughout the interior. Everything feels and looks really premium, especially at the price point that these cars are at, and so you definitely get a much more upscale interior for the money that you pay. It almost feels like a full-blown luxury brand. And of course, I did forget to mention the sunroof. So we've got our controls for the sunroof right here. It is a single pane sunroof right there. You can manually open and close that portion of it, but let's a little bit more light into the cabin. Now that we are done going over the features on the Mazda 6, let's take it out to see how this new Mazda 6 drives. We are starting off here in the 2019 Mazda 6, and this is a first review I've done in a minute where I'm actually going to be able to take the car out onto the highway for a little bit longer drive. Most of the cars that I've been reviewing lately have actually been pre-sold, and so I haven't really been able to put all that many miles on them. Initial feelings on the car, it's really smooth. There's not a whole lot of road noise, and so it just kind of like floats along the road. Road noise is really very minimal, and I did forget to mention this, but there is a new heads-up display in these Mazda 6s, and it looks really cool. It's just nice that it shows you your speed in the window, and I'll make sure that when I get the little bit of an acceleration clip with the car that I'll angle the camera so you can actually see what the heads-up display looks like. Now we are going to take the Mazda 6 out onto the interstate to see how it accelerates and all that, and the handling on this car is actually really good. It actually corners really flat, especially for a sedan. So I'm really impressed with that, and I'm actually getting a good amount of steering feedback through this. So just how the car handles and feels, it feels a lot sportier. Let's get an acceleration here though with this turbocharged motor. Yeah, I mean, it's quick. It's really quick. I actually have the heads-up display set to kilometers. I pressed a button and changed it, but made me look like I was going a lot faster than I was because I didn't read that it was kilometers for a second there. But yeah, like I said, the acceleration of this turbocharged motor is really, really quick. Ride quality on the interstate's really smooth. Road noise, there's not a whole lot of road noise as well, so something that's really comfortable. You could drive on a daily basis, long commutes, really easy, but then because of that sportier handling, you can also have fun on those commutes. To sum things up, where this stands in the kind of bigger size sedan market, this is the more fun to drive, more sporty, and now that they have the added power to this car, there's really no reason to not go for the Mazda 6 if you're in the market for a bigger size sedan. It has the nicer interior. The price point that these are at is really, really reasonable, and all the features and safety tech that this comes with, I mean, it's a great value for the money overall. And so if you are in the market for a sedan, definitely check out one of these Mazda 6s. They're actually really, really nice. And there we have it, everyone, the 2019 Mazda 6. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and again, a big shout out and thank you to Mazda of Southtown for providing us with the vehicle to review today. If you are stopping for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe, comment down below what you thought, and then I will see all of you in that next video.